In 1921, an American neighborhood was burned to the ground, not by a foreign army, not during a war, but by its own citizens. Planes flew overhead, homes were set on fire, and for decades, history barely mentioned it. They called it a riot, but was it? Before the flames, there was prosperity. The Greenwood district in Tulsa, Oklahoma was known as Black Wall Street. 35 blocks of black-owned businesses, banks, hotels, theaters, doctors, grocers. At the time when segregation crushed opportunity across America, Greenwood was thriving. But success can make powerful enemies. On May 30th, 1921, a young black man named Dick Rowland was accused of assaulting a white elevator operator. The details remain disputed. Many historians believe it may have been accidental, but rumors spread rapidly. A white mob gathered outside the courthouse, and then something critical happened. Members of the crowd were deputized. Weapons were handed out. If this was just chaos, why were civilians being armed? Gunfire broke out, and the mob moved toward Greenwood. Homes were looted. Businesses were set ablaze. But then, witnesses reported something even more shocking. Aircraft appeared overhead. Multiple survivors later testified that small private planes flew low above the district. Some described incendiary materials being dropped onto rooftops. Fires spread rapidly from building to building. Historians debate the full scale of the aerial attack, but there is no debate that planes were used for surveillance and that Greenwood burned with terrifying speed. This may have been the first time aircraft were used in an assault on an American community. By morning, Greenwood was destroyed. As many as 300 people were killed. Thousands were left homeless. The Oklahoma National Guard arrived. But many black residents were disarmed and detained. Survivors were held in internment centers for days. Some were only released if a white employer vouched for them. No white rioters were convicted. Then came the second blow. City officials proposed new zoning laws that would have prevented Greenwood from rebuilding as it was. Insurance companies denied claims using riot clauses. Survivors had lost everything, and the system offered nothing. Then something even more disturbing happened. Silence. The inflammatory newspaper article disappeared from archives. Records were incomplete. For decades, Oklahoma schools barely mentioned the massacre. Generations grew up not knowing it happened. It wasn't just destruction, it was erasure. A century later, the ground is still giving up secrets. Forensic teams have begun searching for unmarked graves. Archaeologists are working to identify victims who were never properly buried. The fight today is not with fire, it is with memory. They called it a riot. But when planes circle overhead, when laws block rebuilding, when records vanish, that is not chaos. That is erasure, and history only stays buried if we let it.